Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVO TED Talks, Devoted Talks, depending on how you want to say it, where we take ancient wisdom and practices through a modern lens and experience so that we can help end suffering for you and those you love. Oh, my friends, it's been a while since I actually recorded. You'll get this soon enough, but it's been a while since I recorded. So we've had an ice storm and then a snowstorm, a very substantial snowstorm. It melted relatively quickly. Considering considering the ice stayed around forever, but it's been a lot over here. So there's that. But neither here nor there. I was having a really good conversation with one of my clients this morning, and I love delving deep into Ayurveda, and I love delving deep into yoga and like the ancient wisdom that comes from Sankhya's philosophy. And I got some really cool places, but it's an interesting thing. It's just like these realizations are just outside of my grasp, except when I'm in the moment and delivering them. So hopefully, as I continue talking in these next few episodes, that it'll return to me and or return to those of you who are in need of it. But at any rate, I am, handling a lot of beginning year stuff. It's just a lot of stuff. So we've got taxes, and we've got to file forms, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. And last year didn't really have to do much of that because the business wasn't fully open. So now it's been quite the wind tunnel, fire hose experience. And in some regards, I'm thankful for the weather because it gave me a little bit of a break, or at least time at home, which I haven't had a lot of recently. And it wasn't super relaxing because if you own a business or you guys are responsible for things, having children is challenging because if school's out, then you have to figure out what you're doing for work, right? Same thing with mine, except I'm trying to figure out whether I'm opening the business and whether it's safe and whether I should cancel it. And the biggest and most prescient thing as of late, liability. North Carolina has some interesting laws, and if you have any degree of negligence in the process, it can fall back on you just as much as anybody else. It doesn't matter how negligent one was versus the other. So it is, it's worrisome. Not because it's not a problem until it is, right? That's like anything in life. Nothing is a problem until it is. And so what does that mean for us? It means that preparing doesn't mean worrying constantly. Preparing doesn't mean being so absorbed in what could go wrong that you miss all the things that can go right. It's truly being in the present moment so that you're ready to go. It's kind of like playing tennis. If your mind is somewhere else, there's no way you're going to win that game, right? You have to be with the ball, and you have to be with the rhythm, and you have to be with the opponent. And that's exactly what yoga is calling us to do, but it recognizes that life in and of itself draws us away from that, and life in and of itself pulls us in directions that muddy that significantly. And so it's wanting us to clear off all of the muck. Like it's me shoveling the ice and the snow so that when I drive, I'm not as prone to slip and slide. And it's just like pulling the barnacles off of a ship, right? It weighs the ship down if you don't remove it periodically, and it's easier to do it sooner rather than later, right? Trying to transform something years down the road is not as easy or simple as if you take care of it as it's accumulating, right? So I could tell the Southerners from the Northerners because the Northerners were shoveling along the way. Like halfway through the storm, they would clean up, and maybe a third or, another point in it, they would clean up the snow. And the ice storm was a little bit different. But it's fascinating to see what a difference it makes, right? Of anybody in our neighborhood, I was the first one to be ready to get out of the neighborhood when it got cleared by the plow truck, which doesn't always happen in our neighborhood. So yay, thank you this time. But it wasn't to praise myself, but it was I prepared myself for the moment, and then it was there. And so I was a little bit better with the snowstorm because I had just come off the ice storm. The ice storm, I was all kinds of stressed out because I didn't know if I was going to lose my power. I didn't know what I would really need to prepare to do. Like I was like, should I cook all my food now or should I wait? I didn't know what was going to happen because there was a real threat of having power out for days on end. in Nashville, Tennessee, which took the brunt of the ice storm, they might not even still have power right now. I saw somebody post about February 9th or 7th as one of the days that they would get power back. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's like 2 weeks without power or more. So, I mean, that's insane. And how do you prepare for that? The answer is you don't really. And what starts to happen is you go, I'll deal with it when I get there, right? There's avoidance of preparation and avoidance of the topic at hand. And then there's actually being in the present moment, doing what you can do, think of what you can think of, but not overly stressing or overly anticipating one thing or another. So like, for instance, we have yet another winter weather thing that might happen tomorrow morning. And so I sent a message to the people that are in the class. So instead of being surprised at 4 a.m. with snow on the ground and having to either make the decision to cancel, I'm asking them now so that we can, as a group, decide, because I don't know what's going to happen. And so I just had to say, can't believe I'm typing this to you guys now, but this is the situation. And then we left it at that. I'm waiting to hear back their responses. Let's see. I got one response. I'd rather be safe than sorry, just in case, for both your safety and ours. I'll always more concerned with other drivers on the road than myself. So that's it, right? Like, I put the court on other people, right? And most people want you to do that. People want to have sovereignty to make decisions for themselves. And, you know, rather than assuming it's going to be one thing and then being upset later when it's not, just kind of, if it happens this way, what do we want to do? If it happens this way, what do we want to do? And of course, I have the way that I operate as a business, and I have the way that I have chosen for certain situations, but that's not the case always. And so, what am I getting at? Worrying will not make you more prepared than not. Being thoughtful about concerns that you have will. Thoughtful is being in the present moment. Thoughtful is being connected to self at greater levels, perhaps even being able to perceive things based on signs and symbols that have come to you beforehand. And I'm not talking about reading the future or predicting the future. I'm talking about, oh, you know, I did have that one snowstorm that one time, or, oh, I just feel like it's going to be a big one. Like, we literally come from animals. And you could see how certain animals became very scarce right before the big storms. And so, oh, there's signs around us like that. I'm not talking about precognition. I'm not saying that that can't happen, and I'm saying that I actually believe in precognition. But for those of you who don't or are unsure, I'm just saying, look at the animals. They can sense the pressure systems. They can sense the temperature changes. They can sense things, and they react. And so can we. So, sapere aude is one of my favorite Latin phrases, and it is dare to be wise. So, my friends, be present. Be here now. Be thoughtful in the moment about things, because that's all you got is right here, right now. As always, be well, be free.